Hi everybody, I'm here going to explain about second language reading and the role of grammar. The topic that we are going to discuss is about the role of grammar and second language reading. This section discusses the relationship between grammatical knowledge and second language reading through a review of theories and empirical evidence. More specifically, the discussion will focus on differentiating the role of grammar and the role of background knowledge in second language reading, and in particular, the relative weight of vocabulary and grammar for second language reading comprehension. There are 3 points that we are going to discuss. The first one is background knowledge versus linguistic knowledge. More specifically, second language readers with inefficient decoding skills due to inadequate second language tend to skip and ignore the textual information and resort to their background knowledge more extensively to fill in the gaps in their understanding. In this case, the conscious attention mechanisms taxes their limited working memory capacity, which results in the slowed down reading speed and superficial and incomplete second language reading comprehension. In other words, the problem they encounter in second language reading seems more language related, that is, hinging upon the quality of bottom-up linguistic processing, such as decoding skills, than cognitively or metacognitively related. Furthering this line of logic, when it comes to adult learners with developed cognitive and metacognitive abilities, it seems unlikely that less skilled second language readers are in an unfavorable position in conveying background knowledge than skilled second language readers or first language readers. By contrast, second language readers with developed second language knowledge are relatively impervious to either presence or absence of contextual information, as their automatized second language knowledge enables them to activate relevant prior knowledge concurrently without attending to contextual cues. Empirical findings substantiate the dissociable roles of background knowledge and linguistic knowledge in second language reading comprehension. Interestingly, in Berry and Lazar's in 1998 subsequent study on the role of background knowledge in inferential ability, high prior knowledge readers generate richer situation models by resorting to inferencing process. Simply put, while linguistic knowledge appear to affect the extraction of propositions from the text, conceptual knowledge promote higher level inferential processes. The second point is first language reading ability versus second language proficiency. As a natural corollary of the previous discussion on the importance of linguistic knowledge in second language reading, this section will tackle a narrower issue. It is isolating the contribution made by second language proficiency from that of transferred first language reading ability. Researchers have put forward different hypotheses concerning this issue, while laying differential weight of first language reading ability and second language proficiency. The transfer hypothesis proposed by Goodman in 1975 states that second language reading necessitates the transfer of previously learned skills used for first language reading, and therefore poor second language reading is primarily caused by poor reading habits transferred from first language. This is congruent with Cody's in 1979 reading universal hypothesis, which suggests that reading processes are largely the same across languages and that the differences between first language and second language reading are only negligible. Another hypothesis along this line is Cummins in 1980 language interdependence hypothesis. Based on his studies on bilingualism, Cummins claims that there exists a common underlying proficiency between first language and second language. which provides the ground for a fair degree of correlation between first language and second language reading ability. The confliction hypotheses have been subject to empirical studies, and it was found that second language proficiency has generally had a greater predictive power of second language reading ability than first language reading ability. And the last point is about vocabulary versus grammar. The respective weight of vocabulary and grammar in second language reading still remains inconclusive, mainly due to the marked contrast in research findings. This speculation is supported by findings from Brisbone's in 1995 and Haynes and Carr's in 1990 studies, where vocabulary knowledge was shown to be a better predictor of second language reading ability than grammar. For example, in Brisbone's study that employed regression analysis of scores on a multiple choice grammar test and a closed task to measure vocabulary knowledge, vocabulary scores accounted for the variance in second language reading ability up to 27%, but that of grammar did only up to 3%. Similarly, Haynes and Carr's study that involved regression analysis of second language readers' performance on a multiple choice grammar test and a sentence completion task for measuring vocabulary. Second language reading ability correlated better with the vocabulary test scores than those of grammar test. Yet, when it came to the timed second language reading in Haynes and Carr's study, the reverse pattern emerged, showing grammar playing a bigger role than vocabulary. The robust role of grammar in speeded second language reading is of particular interest, as it contradicts that argument proposed by Yulin that second language reading depends little on grammatical knowledge but much on lexical conceptual knowledge. In other words, as Alderson has suggested, when efficient lower level processing becomes crucial, the importance of grammar seems to materialize more clearly. Then, to sum up this topic, it may be possible to assume that the role of grammar may vary in response to the standards and conditions of a particular reading task and the text. Also, the potential relationship between the role of grammar in second language reading and the typological proximity between first language and second language maybe need to be taken into the consideration for a more accurate account of the role of grammatical knowledge in second language reading comprehension. Okay, thank you so much for your kind and attention, and for today's class, stay healthy and see you next time.